Hello fellow bookworms and welcome to another video. So today is another haul. I bought a couple of more books from Amazon.com and then I also got some Bookish goodies that came in the mail. So I thought I would do a little mini haul. So the first thing that I got was from eBay and I got a book sleeve. And this is inspired by Caraval, and it says, "Only those who persevere can find their true ending," Stephanie Garber. And I am really happy with it. So the next thing I got was a little package from Fairy Loot. So if you are subscribed to Fairy Loot or you just like watching their unboxings, you'll know that in December, Fairy Loot started including collectible tarot cards in each of their boxes. So each box gets 2, and there's a total of 6 that are for a specific fandom. And then once those 6 have gone, they start on the next fandom, and then so on and so forth. And apparently, according to their Instagram feed, they actually are going to do an entire deck. I was sort of concerned that they were only going to do the major arcana, which is like, you know, the Empress or the Hermit or the Tower or Death, and not the lower arcana. And those are the ones that are almost like the suits for playing cards. So instead of like diamonds or spades, you have cups, swords, wands, and pentagrams. But apparently no, they are doing an entire deck. So just means I have to stay subscribed to Fairy Loot for the next couple of years. So I unfortunately missed out on the first 2 fandoms that were included in the boxes. I only just subscribed. I will be unboxing my very first Fairy Loot box on my channel. And right now we're into the Harry Potter fandom. I've missed the first 2 cards, but I plan on getting those as well. And then I went ahead and I went on their Fairy Trove, and they had all of the old cards available for purchase. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So the first fandom that they did was A Court of Thorns and Roses, although based on the cards, I think it's more based on A Court of Mist and Fury. So the first ones that I'm going to show you are the Empress and Emperor. So of course, as the Empress, we have Feyre. And then the Emperor, we have Rhys or Rhysand. And they're quite large, like if you look at my hand. So they're quite big. And then on the back, there's just like some little design. And then in the very middle of it is the Fairy Loot logo. It's not showing up on my camera very well, but it's the same logo that is on the front of their boxes. Now this is how I know it's more based on A Court of Mist and Fury, because these next 4 characters aren't in the first book. So the first one we have is Strength, which is Azriel. Then we have Judgment, which is Morrigan or Moore. We have the Chariot card, which is Cassian. And the Justice card, which is Amryn. I have not read A Court of Mist and Fury yet, so I only know about these characters from watching other booktubers. But I'm still really happy to, you know, have the cards, and then once I eventually read the book and I know who these people are, I can sort of see whether or not the image fits what's in my head. So the next set is also from a fandom that I am not yet a part of. I did recently, on my most recent book haul, I hauled 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, which apparently is very popular with pretty much everyone who reads it. And I thought it was pretty much time that I finally read it, and actually getting the cards and knowing they were on the way is kind of what inspired me to buy the book finally, because I'm like, I can't have these cards and have absolutely no idea who any of these people are. So the first one we get is Wylan, and he is the Fool. So I'll have to read the book and see if he is one. Next we have Wheel of Fortune, and this is Jesper. And I believe he's a gambler in the book and also a sharpshooter. So that might be why he's Wheel of Fortune. The next one we have is The Lovers, and this is Nina. Yeah, Nina and Matthias. I want to say that's his name. And then we have Matthias on his own, and he is the Tower. The next one we have is Inej, and she is the Hermit. And then the last is sort of the boss of the crew, and that is Kaz, and he is Temperance. So it kind of makes me wonder if he doesn't drink, if he's supposed to be Temperance. So these were the first 12 of the tarot cards, and then of course in the very most recent Fairy Loot they had the first 2 for the Harry Potter set, which were Dumbledore and Draco. So those will be the next ones that I order. And then I am now subscribed to Fairy Loot, so I will now start actually getting the cards in my boxes without having to buy them separately. But I am really happy that I got these because I don't like having incomplete sets. I'm very anal that way. If there's a set of something, I have to have all of them. I can't have part of it unless it's a set, unless it's collectibles that I really couldn't care less about. But tarot cards, you have to have the full deck. So yeah, so apparently this is going to be one, thick deck once they're done, because they're doing the entire thing. And I've actually decided that, of course I've read Harry Potter, so I'll know all of the characters that are on these next set of cards, but I'm going to start allowing whatever fandom they choose to dictate what books I start putting in my TBR. So if it's a fandom from books that I've never read, I will read them. Okay, so the last thing is I ended up getting 5 books from Amazon.com, and I will go ahead and show you guys. So the first book I got was Queen of Ruin by Tracy Banghart, and this is the sequel to Grace and Fury. So Grace and Fury is about 2 sisters named Nomi and Serena. So in the last book, Serena, who had trained basically her entire life to be a Grace, sort of a woman chosen to represent the epitome of womanly values and beauty, to stand alongside her king, took the fall for her sister Nomi's crime of knowing how to read. So Serena was shipped off to an island prison, and Nomi became a Grace. So the 2 sort of switched places. Now, of course, there's lots of intrigue. There's a love story. There's betrayal and, royal courtiers and all that kind of good stuff. And in the end, both sisters are separated, but finally making their way towards their destinies of sort of overthrowing this kingdom that is incredibly bad for women. So this is the second book in the duology, and really looking forward to reading this, especially since it's only a duology, so this book will wrap it all up. So I am really looking forward to reading this. The next book I got is one that is apparently very popular on BookTube, and I just had to get it, and that is Aurora Rising. And this is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, who are also the writers of the Illuminae files. And this is the first book in, I believe, what's being called the Aurora cycle. So the year is 2380, and the graduating cadets of Aurora Academy are being assigned their first missions. Star pupil Tyler Jones is ready to recruit the squad of his dreams, but his own boneheaded heroism sees him stuck with the dregs nobody else in the academy would touch. So he ends up with all of the cadets that are either troublemakers, or they're violent, or they're kind of crazy. And then Ty discovers Aurora G. Lynn O'Malley. So she is a girl who has been stuck in suspended animation for 2 centuries, and then they will wake her up. I think the most fun I had with reading the synopsis is it says that these band of misfits might just be the last hope for the entire galaxy. Nobody panic. Whenever you see the words "nobody panic," you know it's going to get good. The next book that I got was The Wicked King by Holly Black. So this is the sequel to The Cruel Prince. It follows the character of Jude, who is a human girl who has been brought up in the land of fairy. Now, fairy, unlike other books that you've read where, you know, the fairies are all sweetness and light with iridescent wings and they grant wishes, the fairies in this world are some frickin' sons of bitches. So in my last haul, I went ahead and bought the book Caraval. Now, part of it was because I've really been interested in reading it for a very long time, but also because I recently subscribed to the Beacon Book Box, which is a book subscription that have started to include dust jackets for books that have already been released. So recently they did the entire Luna Chronicles, and now they are releasing dust jackets that are exclusively for Caraval. So I had to buy all 3 of the hardcovers, and luckily for me, they were on sale on Amazon for only 10 bucks each. So of course I grabbed them. So the second book in the Caraval series is Legendary. I have managed not to spoil myself for this book either. It is a good deal thicker than Caraval. The only thing that I know about this book is that it primarily centers around Tella rather than Scarlet. So this one follows Donatella as she is given a mission to discover Master Legend's real name. And all it says is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. And I think the tagline is the games have only just begun. So other than that, I don't know how this book goes or how it ends. And then of course I also picked up Finale. So this is the 3rd and final book in the Caraval trilogy, and this one just says all games must come to an end. I don't want it to come to an end. I actually really, I think I'm really going to enjoy this series just from how beautiful they are and also just from what I've heard everybody else say. I know that in this one, all of the characters returned, so Scarlet and I want to say Julian, who are sort of the primary characters for Caraval, and then Tella and Legend, who I believe focus mainly in Legendary. All of them return for Finale. And that is all I know about this one. All right, so that was it for my little mini book haul and bookish goodies. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up in the description box down below. Also feel free to subscribe if you would like to check out some more of my magical and book related content. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday. I enjoyed making this video and I look forward to my next one. Bye.